I am not afraid to stand alone. I am not afraid to stand alone. Not afraid to stand alone. I am not afraid to stand alone. I am not afraid to stand alone. If Allah is by my side, I am not afraid to stand alone. Everything will be alright. I am not afraid to stand alone. Gonna keep my head up high. I'm not afraid to stand alone. If Allah is by my side, everything will be alright. Gonna keep my head up high.
Now, my name is Nadim. I'm the youth director here at MAPS, and the point of this event, Say No to Racism, is meant to be a youth-driven event. And what we want to do is we want to open a discussion about racism, especially racism within the Muslim community. Because we know that in Islam, racism is forbidden. Fortunately, we still see the strands of racism within Muslim communities. And the youth have actually worked very hard to put this event on. So after this talk, after this lecture, after Isha, we're going to ask you guys all to move over to the gym. And then in the gym, the youth have actually set up culture booths. But it's not the traditional, normal type of culture booth. We basically assign each group a different culture. So a culture that they don't know about. And we ask them to learn about the history of that culture, learn about the struggles and achievements of that culture. Hopefully they learn about their fellow Muslim brothers and sisters, because we believe that two roots of racism are arrogance and ignorance. And if we can try to hit at that, we'll inshallah start to dismantle racism with... There we go. All right, so I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. My name is Nadim again. I'm the MAPS Youth Director. If you're a youth, if you're 13 to 18 and you enjoyed today's event, we actually have about 4 events every month. You're welcome to come up to me, get on the email list, and you guys can come and participate in our events. We usually have one discussion every month. We talk about issues that are relevant to you all, bullying, how to do well in school, the importance of prayer. We do one social a month, so we'll go and we'll go sledding, we'll go bowling, whatever you guys want to do. And then we'll do one community service every month. And that's usually at the end of the month, where we make about 300 to 400 sandwiches. And then we go to a food bank the following Saturday, the following day, and we hand them out. So it's a good way for you guys to get all-rounded, practice what you preach. A lot of the youth group kids that are here right now, they're the ones who put this beautiful event on. And again, if you guys want to get involved in this, please come up to me, give me your email, and I'll put you on the mailing list. Now, I wanted to invite a very special MAPS youth member, Najma Adan. And I know that you guys are still kind of talkative, but I would really appreciate it for you guys to be as silent as possible for this upcoming poetry. She's one of our own youth group members. She helped put on a table as well. She's done a lot of work, and then she's also going to give us some spoken word, some poetry as well. So if you guys can, please welcome Najma.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My poem is called Blank Canvas, and I hope you enjoy it. Darkness all around, realizing I can't dig myself out of this deep black hole, as if trying to erase everything from my past will somehow help build my life for the future. Nothing seems to have changed because too much has changed. Instead of trying to erase my past, my history, and my life, why not embrace it with open arms? But how do I do that with weight lingering at the back of my mind and within society all around? Being looked at under a microscope, small, insignificant, worthless. Trying to scratch and rub off my skin as if my melanin will wipe away somehow, just like my roots did. Not knowing where to look, left or right, painting us with our own blood, sweat, and tears, through the years of suffering as though we are the ones who are the creators of our own pain. But little do they know that they were the ones who had infused us with this self-hatred, a parade of noise, cries, and commotion going on everywhere. Yet there is silence, stillness, a lull. But when we are alone, we are loud, rambunctious, and free with our tongues slaying every which way. But when the light comes to shine up in our way ahead, we are stunned by the beauty we think it is, and are immediately cut off from sounds, beats of our hearts, and even our own deep, blank minds. All it takes is a switch, turning light into darkness, and what's treasured most into lumps of coal. The thick, coarse hair of our ancestors and our forefathers was, and still is, dark, black, and dull. Not falling into wavy curls or cascading down our gashed backs from the sun beating down on us every day, trying to cover it all up with a patch of fabric, rough to the touch, concealing our very existence. But all that matters now is that I can see the light pouring down on us, teasing us with its height, glorifying itself to seem much more grand and enchanted than it really is. For now the darkness is my blanket, comforting, warm, and ringing truth. That deep black hole is now where I want to be, since that light up there won't do anything but beat me back down into it. For it is the very thing that embraces me in all my baggage, my history, and my darkness. Thank you.
Thank you, Najwa. Can we get another round of applause for that? That was awesome also. I'd like to invite Amir Suleiman up to the stage. Amir Suleiman is a world-renowned poet. He is an activist. We're very, very fortunate to have him here at MAPS. So let's give him a proper MAPS welcome.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق الهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. فضيلة الشيخ السلام عليكم, how are you? Whoa, you guys okay? Okay, alhamdulillah. As he said, my name, the poems that I'm going to recite this evening, and I'll just recite a few poems. All of the poems that I'm going to recite, I heard them all before. So it's not terribly new and exciting for me in that kind of way. The only reason this is worthwhile for me whatsoever is because you are here. So you're the only thing making it special. Otherwise, I could be at home in my bed with my feet up watching Netflix, saying my own poems because I have all the poems. I know all the poems are my poems. I wrote the poems. However, I got out of my bed and got off of Netflix and came here to be here with you. You're the only thing making it special for me whatsoever. It's not my poems that's making it special. So I thank you for being here first and foremost. Secondly, the reason I'm saying that is that I would like this to be more of a conversation than a presentation. So I don't want you to feel that you have to be still and quiet and I recite the poem and then I'm quiet and then you clap and then you're quiet and I recite the poem and you're quiet and then I'm quiet and you clap and so on and so forth. We can't do it like that. I've done it like that before. However, we have a nice group here, not too big. If you have questions or comments or concerns, I want you to feel free to express them. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Can there we are. Okay, very good, wonderful. Thank you for your help. You know they say the Lord will come like a thief in the night. Perhaps the Lord will come in the things that I write, and the things that we bleed, and the things that we read, and the things we recite. Maybe they're afraid I'll spit fire and these kerosene streets will ignite, or that I'll spit water in these barren streets to give life. And I've learned the thing that pulls a fiend to the pipe is the same thing that pulls a human being to the light. The love of love, a means to cope. Try to inhale their dreams and exhale hope. Homeboy said, when the people either feel it or don't, so you can inhale their dreams and exhale hope, but you be the true poppy seeds and spit out dope. And that reminded me of a passage, and I quote, Allah will not change the condition of a people, and today's condition is what's within themselves. End quote. Inshallah, I won't falter. Steady rock of Gibraltar, swift traversing waters. Verses I've authored, I offer as a solemn sacrifice upon the altar in order to alter the current conditions of our sons and our fathers. And they say we need more black mayors and black lawyers. I say we need more black John Mayers to win Grammys for singing songs about our daughters, because we are caught in a culture of defeatism, worshiping victims and martyrs. We are not victims, but victors. We but witness our honor, our brilliance, our resilience, and our beauty is farther than pimpin' hoes, tricking dough, Gucci, and Prada. From Sile Street to Simpson Road, we are shook in the trauma of terrorism that precedes Al Qaeda and Osama. Forget Bin Laden, Ben Franklin enslaved my great-great-grandmama, comma, great-great-grandfather, comma, indigenous nations of reservations, comma, but we're caught in a coma, sleep. So the truth will have to come like a thief in the night. But if you're awake, you'll hear it in the things that we write, in the things that we bleed, in the things we recite. And because the truth will come like a thief in the night, being awake, I've learned, is the meaning of life. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Questions, comments, or concerns? Alhamdulillah, thank you, mashallah. Anything else? I'm just checking in with you. If you don't have a question, comment, or concern, it's okay. Yes. I can't hear you, I'm sorry. I haven't recited that poem in so long, I don't even know if I remember it. Do you know it? You can recite it if you want. No? I'm sorry, I would if I had it with me. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Everybody's okay? Yes? Okay. My heart won't think, but my mind refuses to feel. So it leaves me senseless, sleepless, restless, wandering. I only come to my senses between sentences. And a sentence ends without a period point, or without a point period. My points seem hollow, like hollow points, fired at point blank range that would crack my brain, like my brain on crack. I'm somewhere in between sane and black, stressed and brown. I'm a milky mulatto, passing in the city of the living, passing pretending as if I haven't died already, and I say I'm all ready to do it again. Because I'm a man of my word, and a man of my worth, and a man of the earth. Oh, I just realized something. Do you guys know what a mulatto is? Do you know what a mulatto is? What's a mulatto? This is like the little PSA. We're going to return to our regularly scheduled program shortly, but I just want to make sure you guys are. Mulatto, who knows? Say it if you know. A mix. Generally, a mixed person, black and white, or black and Hispanic as well. But actually, it comes like from the word mule, so it's actually not a good term. Mixed. Do you know what passing is? Passing in this context, in the context of race, passing. You know what passing is? Passing was when a black person was light enough that they could pretend to be white. And so they would pretend they would pass as white. So they would pretend and get jobs and marry white people. And this was especially at a time when there was segregation. So you couldn't go to certain schools, or you couldn't go to certain places, or you couldn't marry certain people, or you couldn't live in certain neighborhoods except that you were white. So sometimes if a person was light enough, they would pretend to be white. But what they would have to do in order to do that is they would have to deny the whole family. They would have to leave their whole reality behind and then make up a new reality, a white reality. This is called passing. In the context of this poem, I'm talking about life and death. It's kind of a love poem between two. One is the woman who is the earth, and one who is the woman who is the life after, the dunya and the akhirah. And it is about the love affair between the two. I come from the dunya, and so I have a love affair with her. but I also am desiring something else, and so I have a love affair with Accra. Okay, back to the poem. What line did I say last? I'm a milky mulatto. I'm a milky mulatto passing in the city of the living, passing and pretending as if I haven't died already. And I say I'm all ready to do it again, because I'm a man of my word and a man of my worth and a man of the earth. I come from her and I'll return to the dirt, commune with the worms, just can't let it take a turn for the worse by passing and pretending until I really believe that I'm living and haven't died already, because I'm a man of my word and a man of my worth and a man of the earth. And she will find me and pull me to her bosom until I can neither breathe nor speak, see nor blink, dream nor think. I think I'm dreaming of a vanilla sky and a chocolate earth and a caramel girl that sings when she speaks with perfume in her walk, her body transparent by how sincerely we talk. We'll take long walks in gardens with rivers flowing beneath. What was old and grieved is now new and sweet, like sweet sweat was swept off of our feet, like souls solaced in a sanctuary of God. In the precious presence of unspeakable beauty. The precious presence is present, past and future. It is past time, past space, time passed away, never to come again. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So on earth I am missing heaven. So on earth I am missing heaven. And I fear not of men, I fear not my end. So on earth I fight demon and despot, the avaricious and the treacherous, with love and my mercy and fire and my justice, with love for the courageous and hatred for cowardice. Because why be a coward? How else do men ascend to the Lord except upon the wings of the angel of death? So I'm a man of my word and a man of my worth and a man of the earth. And she will find me, and may she find me and pull me to her bosom until I can neither breathe nor speak, see nor blink, dream nor think. I think I'm dreaming of a vanilla sky and a chocolate earth and a caramel girl that sings when she speaks with perfume in her walk, her body transparent by how sincerely we talk. We'll take long walks in gardens with rivers flowing beneath. What was old and grieved is now new and sweet, like sweet sweat was swept off of our feet, like souls solaced in a sanctuary of God. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? I'm just checking in with you guys, make sure everybody's okay. I want you to feel free. Everybody's okay? See or no? Everybody's okay? Yes. Okay. Good. You know, there's a piece of literature that I really appreciated when I was a kid. I remember I learned this in school from an author. His name is Ralph Waldo Emerson. He was of the Transcendentalist movement in America. He wrote an essay called Self-Reliance. In this poem, this essay had a profound effect on me. In this essay, he says, there comes a time in every man's education, and when he using the word man in this context, it's meaning every man and woman's education. There comes a time in every man or woman's education that he arrives at the conclusion that envy is ignorance and imitation suicide. That envy is ignorance and imitation suicide. And I would think, why would he think envy is ignorance and imitation suicide? What would that mean? Inside of you, inside of myself, inside of all of us, there is a treasure hidden in all of us. And this is something very difficult to capture, particularly when you're young. The way the American media is designed is hard for everyone, but especially for young people. So I want you to listen to this part closely, maybe even more than the poems that I've recited. That envy is ignorance and imitation suicide. That inside of you, there is a treasure. There's a treasure inside of you, and a treasure is only inside of you. You are a moment in the universe. There was never one before you, like you, and there'll never be another one after you. So you are a unique moment in the universe. If you would give value to something by how rare it is, if I say there's only 10 of these diamonds in the Western Hemisphere, how much would you expect us to pay for those diamonds? A lot. Ferrari only made 7 of these cars. How much would you expect to pay for this Ferrari? A lot, because how rare it is. What is inside you and who you are and what you are is a moment in the universe and the whole history of the universe. Whatever's come before and whatever comes after is not you. That you are a special creation, a special moment. If that's the case, then how rare are you? And if we can, then by the same logic, we would say that you are infinitely valuable. You are infinitely valuable, and this treasure that is hidden inside of you, only you can unearth this treasure. You're the only one that can uncover this treasure. And what is inside of this treasure chest is a currency that only you can spend. If you do not spend it, it will not be spent. So you have something special in you. Let's say, for example, envy requires for you to forget that, for you to become envious. And even when we're talking about race, much of race really is surrounded around envy and truth. And a lot of what other people despise about the black man and the black woman in particular is really a deep-seated genetic envy. But that's a whole other conversation. However, in any case, dealing with race or any other thing, that the only way you can become envious is you have to forget about the great treasure that is inside of yourself and only in yourself. And likewise, say for example, I say I don't want to walk like how I walk. I want to walk like Denzel Washington, because I like his walk. He has a nice walk. So I want to replace my walk with his walk. Say you say, I don't want to smile my smile. I want to smile like Beyonce, right? I want Beyonce smile because I like Beyonce smile more than my own smile, right? But when you smile Beyonce smile, what happens to your smile? It is wiped out of the history of the universe forever. And this was the only moment that the universe was going to witness your smile. Only this moment, and now it is gone. And it doesn't burn up like you burn wood in a fire. It turns into carbon, into heat, into smoke and light. No, it ceases to exist. It is annihilated utterly, because you are the only one. For example, I write poems, right? I write poems, I create poems. If my poem could become conscious, and say the third line of the poem said, I want to be the 7th line of the poem. Said, why do you want to be the 7th line of the poem? The 3rd line of the poem says, because everyone claps on the 7th line of the poem, so I want to be the 7th line of the poem. And so you can't be the 7th line of the poem, you're the 3rd line of the poem. You have to remain the 3rd line of the poem. People clap on the 7th line of the poem because you set up the 7th line of the poem. You're the 3rd line of the poem. Let's say, for example, that my poem could disobey me, and the 3rd line of the poem makes itself the 7th line of the poem. It does 2 things. Number one, it wouldn't get what it was seeking anyway, because people aren't going to clap on that line of the poem because it's out of place. And I've worked hard to make this poem the way that it is. So this one poem, this one line of poetry, getting out of place, one, it doesn't get the satisfaction that it was going to have, because even if you try to smile like Beyonce, you're just going to have a bootleg Beyonce smile, because only Beyonce has her smile, and you only have your smile, so you're not really going to be successful in imitating, and it's a type of suicide. You annihilate yourself, trait by trait, moment by moment, day by day, thought by thought, dream by dream. You annihilate yourself and put yourself into non-existence. So, if that 3rd line of the poem becomes the 7th line of the poem, it wouldn't get even what it was seeking, but even further than that, it ruins my poem. I stay up late nights putting these words together and trying to see what words and how many syllables and what words rhyme with what, right? But it thinks to itself, I'm just 3 words. I'm the 3rd line of the poem, I'm just a few words. Me jumping out of place is not going to make a difference. But know that the whole universe, even when we say the word universe, we have the word uni and verse. The universe is one poem, universe, one poem. The whole creation is a universe, and we are all metaphors and similes, and we all have a special and particular meaning. So if you wipe that out, envy is ignorance. You have to be ignorant of yourself in order to seek to become something other than you are. And likewise, if you are successful in being something other than you are, then you have killed yourself. You have pushed yourself into, and not only that, and I'm going to say a poem after this part, not only that, you're an oppressor. You're an oppressor because you have denied me As a citizen of the universe, you have denied me the ability to witness your smile, to see your treasure, because it will never come again, and there's never another means for it to come about. So there comes a time in every person's life when they arrive at the conviction that envy is ignorance, imitation is suicide. So I would like for you to unearth your treasure and spend it. Okay, I'm going to say one more poem and then we're going to be all done. Okay. She asked, mashallah, thank you. Oh, and since this is my last poem, are there any other questions, comments, or concerns before I conclude? Yes. I'll think about it. Should I read? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to recite something else. I'm going to recite something different than this. But what you should do, this will be a good homework assignment. So I have a poem called Danger. It's called Anger as well. But you can look me up and you can find this poem. It's probably my most popular poem, I think. She asked, what does it feel like when a poem comes out? I said, it's like I'm writing my insides out. And I gotta get it out before my pen dries out, before my ego finds out. Can't let my ego find out. Because when I'm writing my insides out, my every fear, my every flaw flies out. In my ego where those fears and flaws hide out. So whatever I do, can't let my ego find out. If I couldn't write my insides out, I don't know, I'd probably blow my bloody mind out. Instead I write and recite to bloom your third eye out. She said, oh, that's what Danger, Dead Man Walking's all about. I said, yeah. She said, well, I'm glad you took the divine route. I said, yeah, I took the divine route, but it's only a matter of time before the world finds out this is both heaven and hell coming out of my mouth. She asked, where is the truth hidden? I laughed, not because she asked, but because as I'm living, I'm learning that the truth is hidden everywhere. Literally everywhere. There is no place you can scour, search, or visit except the truth is in it. The truth is hidden even in the question, where is the truth hidden? In truth, the truth isn't hidden. It can't be hidden. It is the true and living. Those that are seeking to hide the truth try to convince me and you that they hid it, but they didn't. It is not that the truth isn't being spoken. Perhaps we are not ready to listen. Certainly we are not ready to listen. And you may be at home in my poem, and if not, you may just visit. And if you can't visit, maybe you shouldn't listen. I mean, my poetry is not for everyone. It's no navy blue Yankee fitted. In fact, it's highly acidic, enough to burn through the mind of a critic. Why be a cynic? When we're moving beyond the speed of light, there is no difference between time and distance. Such I'm both here and there in the same instant. For instance, I'm both man and infant, both devil and angel, both the witness and the witness, both monk and misfit. I am the medicine in this sick. And if you would like to know what the truth is, and I wrote the answer, which is the axis of the seven senses, and I told sis, hold this close to your heart and to your soul, sit still in the summer solstice. She said, I can't keep my soul still, it's hard to hold my focus. She said, I've noticed that I can't seem to focus on any real goals, I can only focus on what's closest. She said, how do you know what your goal is? And I said, I don't. How do you save the souls of the soulless? An eviction notice stapled to the heart of the heedless. Souls left homeless, no place to reside in, so they hide out and slide in the bodies of two-eyed men. So my lyricism is an exercise in exorcism, but the exoteric call it esotericism. I learned jihad from Rumi. The Sunni call me Shia, the Shia call me Sufi. The feds I have WMDs for what I do with the loose leaf, because what I do with the loose leaf make devils lose sleep. And I don't care who's on whose deen. I follow the one who ascended the seven heavens and lands on 2 feet. And it may be too deep, but it is only by his light that you can see through me. And if by his light we have sight, then what is the meaning of day and what is the meaning of night? And I would like not to say that I'm living at night, but I'm living very late asr. Inalin sana lafi khusr. Rough translation, I'm a loser. I aim to block his light, yet claim to follow his sunnah. The truth is, I wish I could sing, so I can master bitter truth with sweet melody. Unfortunately for both you and me, I only know how to speak straight, with direct diction that doesn't allow for mistakes. She said, but you speak so whole while the beat breaks. It's so ill, it's so real. I said, it's so real, but I'm so fake. She said, but you sound so sure. I said, that's the point, I'm not sure. I'm barely afloat in the sea without shore. And if you've seen what I saw, then you would certainly know that certainty without flaw is often delusion and no certainty at all. And when it is certainly certainty, it is like a drunken monk, a man so on a square looking at any moment he will fall. but he let her falls. And at that moment, she paused and began to recite Vagabond. I was surprised she didn't memorize my whole poem. She said, if I'm a traveler in this world, then where do I find home? I say, just keep your nose to the grindstone. Tell your mind to never mind the unknown. This is why I rhyme that the Spirit of God is in my poem, because in the beginning there was the Word, and before that there was the unheard, the unseen. There is nothing past but the present. There is nothing past the past but the present. Just as the moon begins with the crescent, it seems that way, but in that there is the lesson. The whole moon's always present. 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 Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'll just so listen, I'm gonna be sitting over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be sitting over at this table. So if there's any questions, comments, concerns that you didn't want to ask here, I'll be sitting over there.
Takbir! 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 Alright, Jazakallah khair. If you guys want to clap, go for it. Sorry for stopping the claps. Alright, once again, thank you guys for coming. If you guys have residual questions, you can go over and ask Amir. We're going to be cleaning up now. If you're youth, 13 to 18, you want to join the MAPS youth group, please come to me. Give me your email, we'll add you to the mailing list. I've just been told that we have to leave this facility by 9:30 because the city is turning off the water supply. I'm not joking, so please leave. Thank you all for coming today. Assalamu alaikum.